You would ask, right? What keeps me here every single day? That's the question, right? Let's get that music back up and running. And I was asking myself that, right? What keeps me here every single day? But there's a reason. Because, you know, I never know when the day is when Bitcoin's going to make a move. I never know when there's going to be a big liquidity grab. I never know when something odd will happen in the market that will propel us or give me some insight to you know, make me some gains. And my whole life, I've been consistent about things, and they've helped me. And it's paid off. So I stay consistent with Bitcoin no matter what's happening in the game outside in the world. And it helps my trajectory just stay on where I'm going. All right. Might be someone out there who wants to learn something new today. You never know. And so I push forward no matter what. No matter what day it is, no matter what's happening. It's bread on the water, baby. Bread on the water. Success is not just an explosion. It's the culmination of the same action over and over again that creates results. And next thing you know, you look back in your life and you see that you've made some headway. You've got some success to stand on, and it's because of all the hard work you've done. All right, and so God bless everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Lover Show. I urge you, I definitely, you know, think about it, but going to Bitcoin Las Vegas will change your life. I've talked about it last night with my trading group and our weekly screen share. Hit the QR code. I'm telling you right now, you'll probably never forget it. I also teach class the last Saturday of every month. That's also another QR code on the screen, if you could see there. If you want to jump on into class, that's going to be May 10th, though. We got to switch it because I'm going to Dubai in 10 days. Check that out. All right. 8 days I'll be going to Dubai. I just can't believe it. It's 9 days. So, but Life Revision Trading Course, hit the QR code right there to find out more. God bless everybody here on the live. Blessed Good Friday to everybody. Happy Good Friday to anybody out there. 84,500 seems to be a key level. We've been sitting there. I basically looked like we were going to go down or sideways last night inside of this symmetrical triangle. We eventually made a move further to the downside there, as you can see. All right. But let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's look at BTC from the weekly on. Our weekly candle close is coming in just a couple days now. And so we don't have much longer. Still hidden bullish divergence after that nasty wick to the downside. Do we make a lower low, or was that it? Was that the low? Everyone said that was the low. Now that was the low, right? I mean, people said this was the low, right? I've been open-minded, and I just say, hey, another reason why I show up every single day is because I'm open-minded. I'm just that open-minded to believe any day could be the day. I don't know when the day is. But as long as I'm consistent, I'm going to catch that day. If I even start missing a day here and there, one of those here and there's is going to be the day something big happens and I'm not going to be there. And I'm just not going to allow that to happen. To the group, not for your $99 a month, your $3, less than $3 a day if you got into the deals. You know, so if you're paying, I'm playing. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not taking a day off. So God bless everybody here on the live. I hope you're having a wonderful day. And we're going to break it down here on this kind of feels like a Sunday, Friday, right? Because it's Good Friday. People are, you know, it's a slower version. There's a frequency there. Bitcoin dumping, 84,400. You can see BOOKMAP suggesting that we're going to go lower to 84,250, 84,000, and 83,900 is where all the liquidity lies here for BOOKMAP. So BOOKMAP usually goes after. So a bunch of people took long positions. There's not much out there. And so they're eyeing those long positions for liquidations today in this kind of lackluster market. That Keller combination is the best, Broham. Thank you. Oh, you like the gray and blue? Thank you, man. The blue shirt with the blue jacket with the gray pocket square and the gray tie. Thank you. I've tried all different things in this show, right? We've got the, you know, we've got it all. Polka dot this, and we got the plaid that, and shout out to Mr. Flawless. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you for saying such nice things about me. Hey, it's the truth. Right? When you're consistent, all that people can say about you is that you show up a lot, right? Can't really say much about you. People can't talk about you when all you do is grind. All they can talk about is how much you grind. When I come up in a conversation, people want to run their mouth, and then someone in the conversation, even if someone starts laughing, oh, that guy with the, oh yeah, his voice, whatever they say, you know what I mean? I don't care what people say about me. My mom said it doesn't matter, but if it is said, it must be. I'm out there in people's minds. There's someone in that conversation in the back, man, but that guy never takes a day off, man. And then everyone's going to sit there and just be like, hey. Shout out to everybody here on the live. So I'm trying to prove to you, you be the same way. Just work so dang hard, no one can say anything about you but your work ethic. That's it. When they think about you, they think about someone that works their butt off. When they envision you, they see someone that keeps grinding. When they look at you, they see success because they know you're not going to stop until you get it. They know that about you. That's your reputation. A grinder. Right? And that's who you want to be known as, right? Why not? A useful person. You can use me. You could utilize me. I'm okay with being utilized. So look, we got this inverted head and shoulders. The daily's still bullish inside this little bull flag. Stochastics RSI and not in a good spot. They'd have to kind of come down and loop and boom. Usually that means there's going to be a nasty dump. You see what I'm saying? Most of the time. It could be an anomaly. Or, you know, as long as we stay above the 21 moving average on the daily time frame, there's a chance that this could move. We do have a death cross right there. Not the best sign. We've attempted to get back above the 200 MA. Not the best sign. And so I've talked to my students, and they kind of know the deal. And I know the deal. But we extend this trend line. Well, we barely hit it there. But the idea is, this was a breakout. Okay? I'm going to get rid of the moving average just for a second. And then this is a broadening falling wedge. You see? This one here. If you've been in trading a long time, you know it. If you're new, just kind of bear with me here. But you'll get these slanted. And that it's like, I call it a squawking because it looks like a squawking bird, right? So, but it's that breaks out. And like the measured move for that is like 94K. The measured move for this flag is 95,000. Again, we don't hit every measured move. It's not guaranteed, but the more you kind of add up patterns that tell you the same thing, it's called confluence. And it starts to build an idea that something is brewing here for Bitcoin. Then I slap on the moving averages, and yeah, I mean, very tight right here for Bitcoin. 22-hour time frame, however, kind of pointing down, but you know. So you can see we're on a point of control. We've hit a major resistance. Resistance. Can't seem to get back above 85K. $85,000 is resistance for Bitcoin. So for me, come down. It's going to test this trend. It breaks this trend, then it's going to drop. And we're going to see a $73,000 Bitcoin. It may stop right there at 79. There's going to be a little area at 76, and then you're going to drop down. So 79, 76, and 73,000. You know, 73.2. Yeah, 73.3. So I am more, you know, if Bitcoin starts to lose this, if you see a candle close below the 21-day moving average, see, look, when Bitcoin lost the 21 here, this is the white line. When it lost the 21 here, when it lost the 21 right there. So, like, if we end up losing the 21, you know what I'm saying? I'd like us to stay candles above the white line here. It's crucial. It acts similar to the 200 MA on a smaller time, like in a smaller set of time. So it would be crucial if Bitcoin could break out of this flag to the upside and stop playing the game. But now, look, it's been days of sideways price action. I drew this, I don't know if you remember, but I drew this flag here. Like somewhere around here, remember? And I was like, maybe Bitcoin could make a flag, you know? And it might be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 5 or 6, maybe 8 days, right? Of sideways price action. It just ranges. It was a possible projection of mine, and you can see, I mean, it's just cool how it filled it out, right? But that's exactly what I do in the 1 minute. See, you just saw on the daily, I do the same thing. I project, and when it fills out, so this tells me we should get a breakout because you continue, you know, if you were bearish, we could have dumped by now. So it's like every time you go more and more sideways, it sucks you in. However, I've seen us go sideways, sideways, sideways. I've seen beautiful bull pennants dump. And, you know, nothing is guaranteed in trading. But things happen more than they don't. Like these flags do break out more than they don't break out over time. Again, most people, you got to be in the market to understand that. Look, there's even a head and shoulder here. Like, I mean, let's be honest. Like this is what I was attempting to avoid on the 4 hour, right? With a shoulder, head, right shoulder, like that. It's not a great sign. Like I can't not see, it's hard not to see that. And the stochastics are coming down. So again, Bitcoin in mixed signal territory. yet again. 8 hours, you know, kind of rolling over. And again, you know, we had this shoulder, head, right shoulder. It looked like we had divided. And we were going to kind of, but now it's almost looking like an elongated one, right? At one point. Like the right shoulder's just kind of, you know, you attempt to put this in a flag, but it's pretty sketchy if you ask me. The daily looks cool. The daily's in what's called a bullish rectangle. Obviously, it's hard to see that here. And, you know, you had a double bottom. You kind of flagged out here, too. You have a golden cross on the 4-hour time frame. Even though you kind of still resemble a head and shoulder here. So, I got to say that Bitcoin's got some bearish stuff going on. But I'm bullish whenever we're back above a 200 MA. So, this is what I did, is I longed this around here. I never thought I'd be in this trade this long. I thought it would be a lot. I didn't think I would be in this trade this long. You know, and I longed right about here, and I've been in the trade ever since. I'm now still at break even. It's insanity. Like, it's absolute insanity how long I've been in this trade on weeks. But you know, we're still above the 200 MA. Now, if we break this 200 MA, it's a right shoulder. So if today if this starts to culminate down, we hit this, and then a candle closes below here, I mean, that 4 hours probably going to take us down. Maybe we bounce, and then if we lose this, boom. Your next level there is about 79.9, 78.5 on the local time frame. And there's a POC that you're having trouble getting back above. A point of control on the VRVP, the POC, the point of control. So, what do I see happening today into tomorrow? Honestly, like, Bitcoin's gotta, you know, you gotta get back above 85,008 there. You know, you gotta break this resistance. You gotta break this little resistance here. You gotta get out of this. You know, you bearish retest, you lose the 200 MA on the 4-hour time frame, and then I'm out on the longs. I'm flipping short at that point, or just sitting on my hands or waiting for a new opportunity. So I gave the longs faith. I was up a couple times on the wicks right there. I was up, but you know, I've given it time, and I've watched it consolidate. And so it had a double bottom brew in there too that still you could almost say is still intact. And we're kind of moving back up to 84,005 again. That brings me to the 1-hour time frame. 1 hour looks better than it should. You know, for this low volume Friday, it's at least the stochastics are low. The MACD is turning. You know, you're not the other way around. So it tells you, hey, you should get some type of price action today. The odds are price action could move to the upside. So you're looking for this falling wedge to break out. Look at that. Like, just odd, slow hours of slow sell-off, right? So here's the deal. You can see there's clearly that last leg of support right here too. So you lose 83,200 on the 1-hour time frame. You can see you're going to 82.1. You lose 82.1, you're dropping to 79,000. So this is kind of like what we're looking at. You break out, my longs play out, we get above 86,000, boom. You get above 86K, and it means we can go up and take out 88K, or go for it at least. And then, you know, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. The next level we would go for is the 92,000, right? We don't need to get that ahead of ourselves one step at a time. So today we watch, because like today's going to tell us a story. A good chance we could just go sideways all day. We go sideways all weekend until Sunday night. That's Tuesday. I mean, we can go sideways until Monday. But it does tell you that, like, look, you know, when Bitcoin ranges, it goes up, it goes down, 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 it goes up, because you see it gets tight, and then boom, a big move comes. And so we know a move is coming in the next, I'd say, you know, we'll take a look. You hold shift down and go right, and it says the news coming to like 15 hours. So 15 hours, this is going to tell us what's going to happen, right? We're going to break out or up or down. I'm long right now because we're above the 200 MA on the 1 hour and the 4 hour time frame. That's the reason why I keep the long open. You see? So I'm not a rocket scientist. I'm a data analyst. I've looked at the data many times. When you're above the 200, you're more likely to win than lose, despite all the stuff that I just told you, even though there are a lot of probabilities also in play at the present moment in time. We break down, we come down and test this double bottom at 83,246. We break up, we test this double top at 86,200, and then possibly back up to 88,005. I'm long. So I can't tell you what's going to happen, but I am, I will tell you where I'm at in where my trades are at, and I'm long. I'm not in any huge longs. I'm not putting the house down, but I got longs open. I'm speculating on a move to the upside for Bitcoin. Okay. We lose this 200 MA. I'm not long no more. Then I'm looking for a bounce off this top trend line. We go and I told you the bear scenarios and where to look, Again, it's 79,000, 73K. Could we go back to 73,000? I am so open-minded that anything is possible. So, of course. See, if you could believe you could be a multi-billionaire in this world, then of course you can believe Bitcoin can go back to 73K. You see what I mean? Once your mind's so open that anything is possible, it makes trading a lot more understandable. But once you're closed-minded and you believe certain things are a certain way, you'll do the same thing in trading. Your mentality will have everything to do with how good you can trade. Because if you're stuck in one position, then you'll redo the same things over and over again. You won't learn any new thing. And if you don't trust people, then it'll be hard for you to find a mentor, because you'll think every mentor is just trying to lie to you for money. You won't find anyone, you won't realize that I've been doing this for years and I actually have, Again, I've told people it's very similar. I lived in the jungle and you're going to go live in the jungle, but I've been in the jungle for 17 years. I just know a lot more about the animals that can hurt you, things that can happen. So, people pay me for their mentorship so they can get into the jungle without getting hurt. You see what I mean? You become specific in one thing. You become niche in one thing. By Sunday, I predict around 90 to 95,000. That would be amazing. I'm open-minded. That would be I'd be head over heels for that. The 4-hour Stokes RSI turned up, but the dotted line turned down with only a 1,500 move at most. Seems quite bearish. Interesting. Yeah, Bitcoin's dumping. Right, it's not the futures actually. It slipped to 380 for a split second. It's got some I don't know. The more I look at it too, it just got some head and shoulder vibes to me. Even this, we saw yesterday, right? It kind of just, it's got head and shoulder vibes. It's super low volume today. I'm just keeping my longs open, but it would highly likely it's going to be hard to trade. This is what we looked at last night. I saw this as a symmetrical triangle that could go either way. They break down 90% of the time. You lost the 200 MA and then you broke down. The strategies in which I teach. 5-minute loss to 200, symmetrical triangles. Right? That measured move would take you to 83.9, right? Which is where we have a lot of liquidity for BOOKMAP, so it almost lines up with where we might get a bounce. So it looks like we could get a bounce down there. The 4-hour, yeah. Can you short or long at the same time? You can. I have. I don't do it all the time, though. If I need to hedge something, or I see that, if I think there's a massive dump coming, but I also see that if we get above one moving average that we could get saved, I might hedge the short, and I explain how to do it. Actually, in the last stream, I explained it, or 1 or 2 streams this week, I explained really the entire reasoning behind it, how you do it, how you set up the percentages, and why. And seems like Bitcoin dumps every morning around this time. Covered calls, play the swing. It seems perfect for everybody else. I DCA into Bitcoin, I bought a whole Bitcoin at $84,000. Tomorrow would be 5 weeks ago. I can't believe it's been 5 weeks. Bitcoin's still in the same place that it was. It's just crazy to me. Right, April 14th, or April 19th, right, will be tomorrow. In 5 weeks, it's just crazy. I thought by now I would be down at 60K or up at 100, back at 100 by now. I never thought I'd be back at the exact same price that I bought it at, basically 5 weeks ago. But what I like about that is it really teaches you the hardness of someone who wins. The wins in the stock market, there should be a real true analysis, and everyone should analyze all the different winners. And because they would find out the stories aren't what they think. Everyone has this picture of a guy, right? Rolling the dice, yeah. But it's really someone that over time just consistently keeps doing it. And just like no one's great at anything until they do it over and over again. I'm telling you, no one's great at the stock market till they do it a lot. They may be good a few times, they may have a couple hits, but it's not sustainable over time, right? It's about sustainability in everything you do, consistency in no matter what, right? And pushing yourself forward no matter what, every single day. No matter what people say about you, no matter how you feel about yourself, you may not feel the best one day. You get up and you work. Consistency creates motivation. Eventually, you'll feel the movement. You'll feel the love. But you got to get up and move. You can't lie down. You know, let's put the lemon into the water. They say water, like lemon, is a natural positive. Just gives you that vibrant feel, that good vibe, right? Shout out to all my beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. May that beautiful lemon water cleanse me. And yeah, what a blessed day it is to be alive. Whatever it takes to stay in the game. Yeah. Let's name this sideways bear market. Join the movement. Amen. So Bitcoin, I see is probably likely. You know, we bearish retest, we're going to dump down, and you can see the target's 83,000. We go sideways, we go tight, and then a move will have to be made. It says by like 6 o'clock tonight, or 6 o'clock Saturday night. Sorry. So one of these moves is coming. I'm long because we're above the 200 MA, and maybe I'm wrong, and I'll take a poundy. Who knows? I hope not. I'll take a beat. I don't want the charts to go down and dump, but we'll see what happens. Low stochastics, MACD turning, RSI in a certain way. We could get our move there on that 1 hour time frame. 2 hour also looks interesting with a higher low. So we got to sell off all night last night, really. See if we can kind of flip that back to the upside throughout the afternoon here on a Friday. Low volume. Easter Sunday markets, traditional markets are closed today, right? You're not going to have the NASDAQ, the S&P. That's all going to be closed. No movement. All right. Street vendors in Sicily sell fresh squeezed citrus with baking soda, and it's the most refreshing drink. It's the best with baking soda. Interesting. Look at Solana dumping. We'll take a look at Solana and see what's happening to Sol. Solana was a beautiful 132 last night, and it went to a high of like 135, and it's still sitting at 133. I don't know if that's a dump. Did look like it could do some damage. It did not stop us out of this trade, but the trade's basically under, slightly under, right? Yeah. Again, it's going to do whatever Bitcoin does. Bitcoin loses that 200 MA and slumps off. We're going to get a dump. Sol back to 125 again. It gets tight, we get the pump, Sol's going to rip. And either you have the guts to take a shot and lose, and then take a shot again next time and win. I'll take a shot. If I lose, I can take 10 shots. I only need to win 3 out of 10 of them the way I do my risk management. So I have enough risk to take a bunch of shots when I need to. You get what I'm saying? Now, someone that doesn't have proper risk management in the system can't do that. So they'll probably miss some of the best opportunities in the market. See, I figured out, be consistent, show up every day, find a system that has, proper risk management and be consistent with it. And, if you just replicate what I do over time, you will see consistency. The only thing that will stop you is that random time where you decide to go all in or do something stupid and go against the data set that we've created. Once you go against the data set, you're on your own because you've messed with it. Very similar of the control, like, if we had a control, we gave 10 people orange juice, 10 people, we didn't give them orange juice. We wanted to see what was the difference between giving them orange juice and not. If one person in the other group had orange juice, it would be over. That's like you taking the wrong trade. You've just ruined your data set. Sol looks like it's in a head and shoulder pattern. It doesn't look amazing, but that's got head and shoulder vibes for me for a dump down to 131, maybe even lower, maybe even down to 129. So, 15-minute looks oversold too, possibly with a little bully div. A little bit of bully div, eh? A little bit of bully div. I got some bully div-a-wee, eh? Some bully, is that bully div, boy? A little bit, not amazing. My indicator's not even picking anything up too, so it's sensitivo. And you're just kind of, look, you're toying with the 200 as you trend downwards. Look at that shoulder head, kind of right shoulder too. I got to say, this local resistance right there. Look, if Bitcoin can't get back above 84.5, you know, you could be in a little flag here and expect more downside on the 1 minute time frame. That could be a scalp back to 84,296. Otherwise, you're looking for some type of real sloppy inverted head and shoulder, right? So yeah, we're kind of hovering at 84,500. We've been there for hours now, really just up and down. Slowly sloping, though. We've been slowly sloping downwards. But that's Bitcoin. Stick to it. Don't get greedy. Don't try to win everything back either right away. If you have a bad loss, exactly. If ever I ever take a loss, I think about how many small wins it will to take a, you know, if I took $1,000 loss, I'm like, well, that's just 4 $250 wins. And then if I hit a win for $400, I'm like, hey, I got to stay consistent 2 more times and I got to bet, you know what I mean? And then I always look back, like yesterday, I lost $200 in the live. And I said, I got this. And I maintained, and I ended up winning like $580, almost $600, $580 back. And so I got my money back. And I said, I just got to stay consistent, like, and stay positive. It was the same strategy. I went right back at it. You know, some say revenge trading. To me, it was just, they wicked me out on my strategy. And then I saw it playing out again. And I said, no, I'm you know. Yeah. Watching for the Philippines. Shout out to Arnold Abiyani, right? And shout out to you, man. God bless you. Sammy H. Bar looking insanely bullish. Yeah. So Bitcoin. Almost look good to be an Adam and Eve there. So I'm bullish on Bitcoin. I have my longs on, but I've told you the treachery, and it doesn't look amazing. We'd like to get this bounce here for the day. And you know, what if like today's like Bitcoin just rips and like we're at 86. See, I don't know. Like Bitcoin could rip to 90,000 today. And I could be like, or it could dump. Or it could go sideways and do nothing. I don't know what's going to happen. You see what I'm saying? I just got to play the chart the way I see it. That's all. There's 3 scenarios every day. A dump, a sideways, or a pump. What's the probability? Well, we're above the 200 MA. We usually have pretty nice pumps. So I like to, and especially when we consolidate with tight moving averages at the point of control of the VRVP. So I'm building a story and low stochastic. So that tells me that for the next 6 to 8 hours, we should be getting a pump to the upside. That little wickage was just probably the entry for the longs as they stopped out the shorts. Okay. Let's take a look at XAUT, right? Perpetual gold contract on Bybit. Need I say more? So they got Tether Gold. And so this is the same thing as gold. You know, the volume's not as, I think PAXG might be this, you know, a little better, but hey, if gold's going to continue to rip, this is going to continue to rip. There's a trade right here on gold. This is on MSTY too, so tradable on MSTY. PAXG is also available around all sorts of places. I'm not sure if Coinbase has a... I'd have to check it out. I think they may, though, if Coinbase has one. A gold-backed stablecoin, you know. Or not even a gold-backed stable, just a gold-backed coin. I shouldn't call it a stable coin because, you know. I mean, a little overbought on the 1 hour considering, right? But that 4 hour, see how it's sloping down and you're still inside? I mean, that looks interesting to me. Bitcoin and gold should be pumping together if inflation is hard, you know? Look at that wick to 35. Did gold really do that, though? Let's take a look at the actual gold chart. So if I see that, then it makes me like, come on, man. Nice pump off 84,500 for Bitcoin. And again, if it crosses the 5-minute 200 MA, we get a pump, so yeah, maybe I'll take it. Right there, look, there's my signal right there. Price action comes back to the 21. It breaks the 200 MA, but it comes back to the 21 while the 21 crosses, and boom. I don't care how it looks. That even looked like a head and shoulder. It doesn't matter what it looks like to me. Boom. Right there. Boom. Any type of consolidation when the 21's crossing, when we come back, I mean, it's just right there. Boom. Boom. We might get it today. You never know. 84.5. See, we're flat. I figured we'll be flat for the entire show. Like Bitcoin will just meander on sideways for most of the show. Shout out to the 1,459 beautiful souls here. People holding me down no matter what. Even though it's Good Friday, people are on the road. They may be traveling. They're with their family. You know, not many people are going to be on YouTube today. Just, you know, or at their computers. It is what it is. 777s, baby. You saw it. It's always there for me. There it is. It came back for me for a second, too. There it is, the 777s. Just when I ask for it, and then it's gone. There it is. Stay for me, baby. Stay for me. 777 one more time. Yeah, there it is. You think it's weird how the 777s always show up for me? You don't think it's strange? I think it's a bit odd. Look, it's gone now. You'll never see it again. It's just when I ask for it, and then it's gone. My dad saying hi through the ether somehow. That's his favorite thing was 777s. He went to a bar called the Sevens. His whole life, his favorite bar was called the Sevens. I'm not even lying. You guys would think I'm lying, right? Like, oh, he's making this up because he's crazy. It's still there, the Sevens Bar in Beacon Hill. It's called the Sevens Ale House. Right here, the Sevens. Because the Irish are obsessed with this number 7. I don't know what it is. And my dad was at the, man, my dad, I actually, yeah, it's a public located at 77 Charles Street. See? And it's been operated since 1933. Come on now, look at Of course, yo. On the 33, yo, like that's so weird. I never even looked that up, like to see. So it's on 77 Charles. This is where my dad my dad was there all the time. So ever since he's passed, and right before he passed, I started seeing the number 77. I don't know why. Like a couple, like 2 or 3 weeks before is when I started. I never saw the number a lot. Like I never saw it. I never noticed it. You know, maybe it's me, right? I'm noticing it. But look, I saw it right there, but maybe it was always there. And I guess our mind does create our reality. So you see things that happen, you happen to see things. You get it? You see things that happen, or do you happen to see things? I don't know. Hey. Yeah, so I'm not with that other coin because it had a weird spike in it. And that's not cool for me. But look, PAXG right there was a good entry, 3,000. Called that level there at 30, 3.5. You can see from this flag here, broke out nicely. Gold just booming. So I would trade PAXG. This is what I would trade here. This one doesn't, didn't have the wick. Looks nice and neat and complete. And gold mooning as we speak, just like absolutely mooning. And we've gone over this for years. I was a gold bug. I traded gold. I still hold gold, I like gold. I'm going to actually come out with something interesting with gold soon. That's going to blow your mind. I don't think you even realize what's brewing in the next few weeks and months coming up. But I'm excited. You should be excited as well. And I like to do things right, or it would roll out right now, but we're going to get it done at the right time. But yeah, so I would even watch this daily, maybe flip it back to the 12 and the 22. But I mean, that's bullish, right? The world is now the more we have tariffs, the more any situation kind of throws off the geopolitical structure, right? And the way people see the world and world economics, it's good for gold. It's great for risk on assets like Bitcoin and gold. You want people to kind of run around with their heads off, Another thing this is something I thought, and I'm speculating right now, but I study the real estate market, right? And yes, there's rich people with their heads on in every place, but there's also a lot of people that have money that also don't think correctly at the right time. Just because they have money doesn't mean they're always like, and I noticed the Northeast, they're more up on edge, right? They were very into, let's be honest, they voted for, I shouldn't say, but the KH lady. And whatever, right? It is what it is. I don't even want to get too into it. I'm just trying to make a statement about the truth. So they're upset every time the tariff happens, every time something happens, they're like on edge. And I'll be honest, when you're on edge, you're not ready to open your pocketbook. You're just not. And so I'm telling you right now, there's some properties that are like people aren't paying attention to right now that are for sale in Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and, you know, and they're prime areas, but people are just like, they're kind of like, they're reading the news every day. They're really consuming. And the people that even have the money to spend, I think they're just like, and they're hearing stuff about tariffs, and it's making them a little bit nervous to buy. And I think it's an opportunity for someone that sees long-term wealth and isn't paying attention to the short-term folly. So that's just me. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, but it's just the way I'm looking at it. You know what I mean? It could be an opportunity right now because people are kind of like, they're stuck watching too much. They're not really seeing the numbers for what they are. You get what I mean? They're in their heads. When people are in their heads, there's value because that means they can't see the value right in front of them. And it's looked like there's mass psychosis out there. So, hey, take advantage of that while it's out there, in my humble opinion, you know, because, hey, enough people will see it, buy up the good stuff, and then it won't be there anymore. Anyway, so this is interesting. It's making a bit of a flag. Let's look at gold, like from a new, you know, brand new again on the weekly. I mean, parabolic run, like absolute parabolic run, right? Now I have to go look at the whole chart for gold. And we're going to do this later on too for my macro technical analysis, but I was a gold trader for a long time. So this is not new to me. I was trading gold before Bitcoin for 7 years. JNUG, JDST. I mean, the weekly finally has a bearish divvy. It almost looks like that the run for gold is going to slowly, you know, that's bearish divergence. When the RSI is flat like that, but price goes that high, and you have a run up that high for weeks on end of an asset, it's almost been in a straight line ever since 1900. Pretty crazy. Now, it is what you expect when the world gets, you know, and inflation keeps coming. And this is the stuff I was telling people about in 2010. I told them, you're going to see $5,000 an ounce gold. We're going to get there soon. We're going to get there. I remember telling people gold will be $5,000 an ounce. And I was like, wow, all my gold bars will be $5,000. I was like, wow, I'll be so rich, you know. So crazy, like, how time has changed, and I've seen things happen. So I'm starting to see a bearish divvy. So is my indicator. You'd think you'd start to cool off a little bit here. The 21-day moving average is far, far away from price action. So for me, maybe it makes, there's two scenarios here. It makes one more outrageous high, but to me, you know, and then that's the bearish div here. We get the downtrend with the uptrend, and then we come down. Maybe 35, 3,600. And I could be wrong. We could consolidate and just rip. Go to 10,000. Who knows? But these indicators are tried and true. We're getting very overbought on the bigger time frames. The 2-week chart, the 3-week chart. Heck, even the monthly is getting a little extended. The monthly's been on a tear since October of 2023. I mean, look at that. Gold is on it was in a cup and hand. And this is why they call me Sammy Cup and Handy. Like, and I used to show this cup and handle a lot. And then look, the shoulder, the head, the right shoulder. But we had this cup and hand. I drew this all the time. And it was from 2012 all the way to 2020. It was the cup. Isn't that crazy? Like, everything does the same thing. It bear markets into the cup. It makes the handle. The handle's the execution. Boom. Straight line out. This is why I play the cup and handle, because it, you know, whether it's the 4 hour, the 1 minute, no matter what time frame, it's such an explosive move up. It gives you the most payday the fastest. No other pattern gives you the most payday the fastest but that cup and handle. I'm telling you, Samuel Cup and Handle, Sammy Cup and Handy, save your time, trade nothing else, bang on that cup and handle over and over again. So, wow, gold on the monthly looks a little spent. On the weekly, it looks a little spent. It's been doing pretty good continuing, though, right, to do that. You got some support or resistance now at about 3,000. The weekly. Let's see the 3-day chart. And see the daily. Yeah, so you're looking for the daily to close at tweezer bottom, which it looks to me is going to happen. And then it's either going to make one of these two flags. May get one more pump, but I feel like it's just too overbought on. And again, we could be in some anomaly season where we see something we've never seen in the world, and it's just like. But every time I say that, the charts prevail. And that's why the charts are amazing. So, I don't know. The chart actually might make a shoulder, a head, a right shoulder here for gold. Yeah, you might see gold back at like $2,700, $2,800 an ounce. That would make sense. Like, why, right? I don't know. Maybe they cut the rates. Money comes back in. People decide they're going to jump out of gold. They're not going to, you know, and they're going to sell the gains they made in gold, and they're going to use them to buy cheap money to then reinvest in the stock market. See what I mean? And it's going to be the same. And then when the stock market gets over, they'll go back into gold again. And this is the cycle, man. You'll get it over time. You'll start to make sense to you. So you can either be in the cycle, or be like me, just hold it all, and you'll get hits as the hits keep coming, and just eventually your wealth will expand, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if we make a headed shoulder here and we don't continue up. You know, almost more likely we come down and then we struggle. This could be a top for gold, in my personal opinion. To me, it looks like gold has topped out, but I could be wrong. But it's about an 80% chance that gold is topped out. Silver much more useful than gold. Gold is mostly in jewelry. Yeah, silver conducts electricity better than gold. I always thought gold was the best conducer of electricity, but silver is a better conductor of electricity. People don't believe you when you tell them this. They won't. Because for years, everyone's believed gold is the best conductor of electricity. Gold tip this, gold tip that. But it's just not true. It's just not true. Yeah. And you can hit grok with it. You can say, is silver or gold better at conducting electricity? Silver kills germs, like, naturally. I don't know, you know, it's weird. It also helps melt ice quicker. But here's grok. Silver is better at conducting electricity than gold. It's a higher electrical conductivity due to its low resistivity, approximately 1.5 times 10, right? For silver versus the 2.44 times 10 to the 8th omega M for gold at round temperature. However, gold's often used in electrical contacts because it resists corrosion and tarnish better than silver. So there you go. So you may have a better electrical, but over time, gold's better, keeps it fresher over. You know? So there you go. So still the standard, right? Silver reminds me of Casper. Yeah. Copper is the absolute best electricity conductor. Copper. Actually, isn't it? I thought it was element 115. No, I missed. What element is it? What? They're the elements, right? And I do this stuff all day long, like. If you're not progressing and finding out more about the world every day with what we've been given, and look at all the information we have now. It's hard for a guy like me to go to sleep at night, man, when I know I could be learning something every moment of the day. Like, I could be reading a book at 2 times speed. I could be finding out how to, you know. Yeah, copper conducts the electricity among all common elements with an electrical versatility of 1.68 times 10 to the negative 8th omega M. At room temperature, while silver has slightly lower resistivity, copper is preferred in most applications due to its lower cost and comparable performance. Interesting. So silver really is dang close, though. It actually is lower in resistivity. Interesting. And now you learned a new word, resistivity, and now you can become an electrician. All right. That's what you came here for on this channel. All right. So the play is that we're going to get some type of reversal today, back to the upside. They call them Sammy to the upside over here. There's your flag that could break out. I wouldn't trade stuff like this on a low volume Good Friday. I would probably leave the markets alone, but it is what it is. Using the magnetic field and the ether. Amen. Shout out to Vidal. Amen. Silver has bigger supplies. That's because it has lower price. Yeah, copper and granite. It's all found in the old pyramids. Amen. Yeah, the copper, right? They had the copper, exactly. The copper wire with the salt water. They had the batteries in the pyramids. They had lights. They were lighting lights somehow with batteries. Salt water, copper batteries, baby. Sammy's the best teacher. My teacher at school. No cap. Amen. Sammy's the type of guy who thought Taco Bell was a phone. This guy's takes him. Yeah. As an electrical engineer trying to talk about impedance, and you'll impress me simple. OM's law ain't gonna, I don't know what he's saying, man. Bollinger Bands are tied of the daily. Big move, could be soon. That's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for this. I mean, that's a kind of cup and handle vibe. You got a bigger idea, don't you? You got this shoulder, head, right shoulder, break to the upside, baby. And get back at least to liquidity at 84,700 for Bitcoin. And shout out to all the beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here on this beautiful Good Friday. Love you, Sam. Good Friday to you. Any Floki folks in here? I'm a Floki guy. I got some Floki. Yeah. I've always believed in Floki. I mean, great character. Like one of the best characters ever of any show ever. Floki and Vikings, man. He was the best. And back to its previous resistance. Who knows, though? Are memes going to revisit their all-time high? You never know. Okay. Yeah, talking about ancient technologies. No, I mean, if you want to research something that'll blow your mind, research Ed Leeds-Scalene. All right? Ed Leeds-Scalene. E-Ed-D. This guy will blow your mind. All right? I think I'm... Ed Leeds-Scalene. Let me make sure. With that dude, you know, that those two words I think will send you on a rabbit hole, though. So I don't know, you know. Yeah, Ed Leeds-Scalene. That will change your life forever, for the rest of your life. Okay. He's a Latin immigrant, moved to the United States, a self-taught engineer who single-handedly built Coral Castle in Florida. And you got to check this place out, learn more about Coral Castle, and find out how he did it, what happened, and go on a rabbit hole. It'll blow your mind. All right, it's very obscure information. A lot of people don't like. No one will teach you about Ed Leeds-Scalene. No one will teach you about Edgar Cayce. You know, these two people changed my life forever. And Nikola Tesla. Go spend 40 hours on each of those people, and then come back to me, and you'll never be the same. That's what happened to me. That's why I trade the way I trade. That's why I see the markets the way I see it. Expanding my mind through time, space, and knowledge. I'm able to transcend the charts and see them in a different way. Like take the 4 hour and see that it's the same in the weekly. Take what I see in the 1 minute, flip it upside down, and then be able to short the daily. You know, like the charts are teaching us everything all the time. Like if I flip this upside down, that's a rising wedge about to break to the downside. I could learn how to short. There's probably bearish divergence there. Oh, that's going to come down. All the moving averages are far apart. The 21's from the 200. We come back to the 200 MA. An inverted cup and handle. You know, now I know how to short, but I'm looking at a long at the bottom now. But I flipped the chart upside down. I used whatever I could to get more information. You don't want to teach me how to short? I'll flip the chart upside down and find a way. You know, you don't want to show me this? Someone doesn't want to help me? You know, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. We don't need somebody to help us. We could do it ourselves. Whenever I looked at this, I was like, I wouldn't touch this thing. Still, it might pump, but I would stay away from it. So just, you know, a slow day of the market. TradFi closed completely. You know, it's not the day you want to just like, oh, you know, I'm going to throw all my money in and go all the way. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. Funny, Ontology is a coin that likes to pump on the market. It's a little frothy. It's been around a long time. And then you got O&T Gas. Morning Champ question at store when parking. Do you back in or drive in? That's a perfect question, and I'll tell you exactly what I do, and I'll tell you why. I don't have a choice, all right, as to what I do, all right? Again, someone who asked that question, I find privileged. And you'll be like, what? Yeah, you're privileged for asking that question. Yeah, 100%. Okay. And you'd be like, wow, how dare you? Well, let's talk about it. The last 10 out of 12 places I went to park, there was like these big like stone things here, right? And then there was like a fence here, kind of. Or they put some bushes. You know what I'm saying? Agreed? Yeah, agreed, right? And there's not a lot of space here. Like if I back the car in, all right? If I back, you know, what may be an Escalade, I don't know, I may or may not have an Escalade. But if I back the car in, and you know, you hit that thing in the back, opens up. How do you put the groceries? How do you put the kid stroller? How do you help your wife? You know what I mean? So no, like I have to pull in my car. Even though I would like to back in. I'm a back in guy, but I can't. Because I got to open the trunk, put the groceries in. We got to put the kids in the car. And there's I need a lot of space to do all this nonsense. And I can't be doing it back there. So I don't have a choice. I have to pull the car in. I cannot back the car in. Because I can't, I got too much going on. If you have the luxury of backing your car in, you're probably a single guy, or your kids are left the house already, or you got a little sports car or something and you and your wife are driving around, and that, you know, God bless you. God bless you. But if you got 3 kids like me, you cannot be back in the car. You have to pull the car in. I don't have a choice. Yeah. So bless you if you get to back in. I would love to, because I like to just drive on out. I'll do that when I'm older. I'll be backing in again. But, you know, also be a sad moment. My kids will have left the house. So I want to pull in as long as I can, baby. Because that means I got my kids around and my life is going well. I'm already 62 in my mind. I'm already an old man. I've already made it to the end and back. I've already transcended space and time in my mind. And so it's already happened, hasn't it? I mean, I've already gotten old. I've already died. You've already come to my funeral and I've already said thank you. It's crazy, but it's true. So live your life, because it's already happened, even though you don't realize it. Life is linear. It all happened at the same time. You were born, lived, and died all at once. You just feel it as a time change through this universe. I won't speak on it again, but after my 3rd time travel, I realized that I had to come back to help you and show you the way. It wasn't about the money. It was about the energy. All right. He says, my caddy is smaller, so I'm privileged. God bless you, man. I was just messing around. I thought it would be a funny way to look at it. And look, they got this ball of liquidity they keep wanting to go grab at 84,300. Looks like they're going to get it. And then even drop it. Looks like they're going to dump us down to 84,000. BOOKMAP suggests a dump is coming. All right. Yeah. Sam, on that quantum superpositioning, you got to be. You gotta be. Yeah. Your sports car where the trunk is, I know, but you can't fit 5 kids in a sports car. Again, need I digress? XCN taking a massive move up out of nowhere. Kind of crazy. It's got like this shoulder, head, right shoulder, sloppy head and shoulder vibe, but I don't know. I hold XCN. I wouldn't be like too keen on like swing trading it throughout the days here. But it isn't like a bit of a flag that could break out. I'm holding this coin. I'm basically in the trade spot. I wouldn't speculate on it any other way, but there's been something brewing with this coin. And, you know, if it bumps, I wouldn't be surprised. I have a piece. I also be very careful taking a shot on anything right now. So I DCA'd into it in the bottom areas here. So I'm up already. I got, you know, you can say I got lucky, whatever you want. I bought the fear, you know. It was the only coin that was having a really massive run up. Well, when everything else was dumping, it had this huge pump. January, and then it kind of slowly came down, had this other pump. And so it's been showing some promise. It's obvious you don't pull out, so you wouldn't back in. This guy's funny, man. Sir, when will you give trade? Not today, man. It's Good Friday today. Unlikely we will give trade today, my friend. I love you, though, Abdul. Come back tomorrow. When trade? Sam has megalodon-size Escalade. You're funny. I think Sammy was all Blue Origin. You guys are crazy. You'll be calling your Tesla to the front door of the grocery store in 10 years. No more parking. I know, right? Well, that Matic was about $129 this time last year. Now $18. Isn't that crazy? Matic, man. Don't even get me started on Matic, dude. Friggin' Wing. Remember Wing? Old school. You know, the market's just stepping. Some of the older coins getting some crazy movements out of nowhere. POGAI. A little bit of bump for POGAI. You know, there's always going to be people trading the market. It's a world market. You got Asia, you got Russia, you got China, you got Turkey, right? You got Istanbul, you got the whole world. They want to get down. And it's 24/7. And they have access, right? And so crypto's just going to continue to get bigger and grow, everybody, over time. There's going to be some slow days, up and downs, of course. Nothing's going to be perfect. We need slow days. That's why we know there's a fast day. You know, you got to have ups and downs. Check out CPOOL. I really like CPOOL, but it took a beat down too. CPOOL was an interesting coin. Look at this thing, got completely annihilated. Crypto market just got, not as bad as others though, right? 47 down to 13. It only needs the 3x to come back. So compared to most coins, it ain't bad. I like this project personally. You know, and I like the market cap and its competitive nature. CPOOL could do some damage, possibly, but and it's rare. I've been saying I know when to speculate and I know when to chill. And right now, like, I just, you know, I know I'm speculating in Ondo, Say, Sui, Fetch, possibly a little bit of Render, but that's it, man. I can't really justify buying anything else until the market gets frothy. Then I can start breaking out, and even then I'm going to be a little more cautious. Oh, one thing I want to see is Alchemist AI. The other day that thing was pumping, and I want to see, did it hold its gains? It was actually one of the only coins that was actually back towards above where I bought it at, even despite the market. FARTCOIN fell out. Look, it did that head and shoulder pattern. See, shoulder. That's a shoulder, head, right, shoulder, right. That's a head and shoulder pattern right there. I mean, clear as day. Alchemist AI is still kind of hanging out there in the high zones, which is pretty crazy. You can see, like, it pumped up huge, but, like, you know, it's not that far away. It's been pumping since March. You know, so something's brewing here for these AI projects and AI coins. I mean, this thing, I got in around 110 million market cap, so. And it was down. I figured it would be one of those coins that would never come back. When I look back, I'm like, whoa. And I made so many different, I speculated so many things. All I need is like 5 or 6 of these things to rip and pay for all the things that I speculated on that don't play out as well, right? So, and that's how the crypto market is. It's a broad range of, for me, it's a broad range of speculation, followed by defined science in Bitcoin, and then trading over and over again, you know, and combining those three forces, and then having something else on the back end, like an algorithmic trading bot. Like right now, I'm running an algorithmic trading bot, and it's unbelievable. That bot is unbelievable what it does. I got a link to it here. I'll show it to you if you'd like to find out more about it. And again, I use it for myself. You can kind of do whatever you like, but I find it absolutely amazing. You know, just the other day, it made me another $1,600. I got into my account. I was able to flip it, buy more Bitcoin with it. And it just, I don't know, it just, it amazes me. Yeah, so as I dig up the link on this, you know. But yeah, the bot is, it's a, you know, I'll call it an algorithmic trading system, not unlike a bot, but it's unbelievable. And it blows my mind every time I use it. I can't, you know, I'm a mess sometimes. I like to just talk about crypto and do my thing. You know what I mean? But I gotta show you how you can do things in the back end as well. So check it out. What you can do is you can hit this link here, all right? And this will let you schedule a call. The thing is, it is pricey, you know what I mean? Just to all my people that I know. Like, I'm not trying to oversell you on something, but it's working for me. You know, it's turned 1 Bitcoin into 1.26 Bitcoin now. And for me, that anything that gives me more Bitcoin, I'm in love with. You know, especially when I'm just letting it do its thing. Okay. So yeah, if you ever want to have a bot that just kind of trades on the back end constantly, you're somebody who doesn't know how to trade at all, you're new to my channel, you're just watching, maybe you were never going to get into the trading thing anyway, that's for you then, you know what I mean? But if you really want to learn, take it to the next level, and you want to really like make life changing, like the bot, I don't know, it might not make you life changing wealth, but if you already, what I like the bot for is let's just say like Trump coin ripped, I made 60K, bang, right? You buy Bitcoin when it's at like 90,000. Next thing you know, you got 2/3 of a Bitcoin, and then you put it to work here. Before you know it, in a year, you got a whole Bitcoin, and it all started with that Trump, with that, you know, whatever coin it was, right? So you speculate in the, for me, all coins and all the other things in the market are for speculating to get more Bitcoin. That's it. And that's what they're using. They're putting them out there to probably sell to you so they can buy more Bitcoin too, right? Yeah. Bang, bang, bang. So beautiful. And so Bitcoin sits at 84,005, and that's kind of where it's likely going to sit for most of the day. I wouldn't be surprised if just all day long it is starting to show to be more of a slow bleed, right? I mean, if we had to really put our hand on it, it looked like we could make the gap. And BOOKMAP also suggesting that we're going to dump, but it doesn't mean that's it for sure. It just could be that's what's left on the board for today, and we just kind of meander. I see sideways price action, but again, like you got shoulder, head. There's just the bears are in control. The bulls got to show us something, you know. And the only thing going right now is the 1 hour and the 4 hour holding that 200 MA, which is keeping us above water. But we got to keep that up. You know, that's not forever. So. Who are the 4 Satoshis, Sam? I'll tell you, but I'd have to, you know, so I can't. All right. I know me and Satoshi go way back. We're good friends, but you know what I mean? I'm not allowed to tell anybody who it is. It is what it is, man, you know? I have no idea. Hal Finney, man, he was probably either one of them or the one or close to. I mean, he did the first transaction ever, Hal Finney. So go down the Hal Finney rabbit hole and you'll probably can figure out kind of like a bit of an idea. Was it a team? Was it a group? Was it a thing? Are we all just, you know, where is it? Is it programmable money? Is this an experiment that we're all still in? I think so. And no one knows really. If you didn't design it, then you don't really truly know where we're going. Another thing I got to show you is like, this is definitely, there's going to be a lot of people shorting this head and shoulders. So there's going to be a lot of liquidity up here. So when you have big bearish patterns, but above the 200 MA, we can get a nice collapsible movement there. A lot of short squeeze. Double bottom of the short time frame. I think we see a little pump for Bitcoin. I think he says. I mean, that looks like a bear flag to me. And you just got rejected by the 200 MA. I don't know. I'd say you're going to dump. That also resembles a head and shoulder, does it not? Even though it's not perfect, kind of like a shoulder, a head, a right shoulder. You're looking for this double bottom, possibly something like that. I don't know, it looks pretty ugly to me. Looks like we're about to dump down to 84,289 right now again and test the lows. If I had to guess, I'd say we're going to dump down to 84,271 right now. Out this bear flag. Boom. Entry here, stop loss there, dump to the downside. I would not trade Good Friday though. No. Ed leads Scalene. Yeah. Bulls and the Bears are around. Wow, yeah. Will it still work if you have low capital? I don't think so, because I mean, it costs 12 grand. So you pay 12 grand to put 5 grand in there. You know what I mean? You kind of, it's really for a larger version investor. There may be a package for, you know, they're going to look at ways to help all types of people, obviously. But it definitely is for a large, you know, some of the ideal person has about 100 grand to put in, and the 12 grand is like a shot in the bucket for them. Not a big deal, you know. I'm sorry to say that, just, you know, that's the ideal clientele at the present moment in time. It'll open up, and I think they'll create some other type of, you know, maybe less serviceable bots that are just like one. But if you want the full service, which you can put on anything and you can actually program it yourself, you can have like little, and you can even have one-on-ones. They can teach you a lot. You'll be able to sit with them and fine tune the bot, and like the team's really amazing. They're really good people. I love working with them. So it's an experience. You'll learn so much about and that's for the future too. You're going to learn of algorithmic trading. Like, I mean, think about it. We go to sleep at night. Like, there's deals. I can find a lot of deals. My model plays out. The 5-minute crossing. There's probably days where I'm asleep. The model hits all the time. What if I could trade a bot just to trade my model over and over again, and then take like, and maybe this bot's probably even better than that, right? So, and they've sat. Well, I've been here trading day in and day out and perfected. They've been sitting perfecting this thing for years, and then they worked with me and I used it. And we went over to like how to tweak it and make it, you know, or how I wanted it to be more risk or less risk. And they guided me through it. It's been an amazing experience. I first started so skeptical. I thought it was a bunch of trash, honestly. I'll be honest with you. I put $5,000 in there and didn't really like, I was like, nah, man, like I kind of just like did it as an, and then finally I asked myself, fine, I'm willing to lose the $10,000. Let me put $10,000 and see what it does. And I saw it make some trades. And then I was like, oh, wow, that's pretty cool. I'd rather. So I saw it make the percentages, and I was like, man, those percentages would be nice if it had 100. And then so I put in like, and I eventually just put in a whole Bitcoin, but Bitcoin I think was like 60 grand at the time, maybe 70 grand, you know, so like I just put in 70,000, and then Bitcoin went up to 100 grand, right? And now it's made 1.25 Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's at 8, and now I do have so it's made me like, when I really look at the math, I believe I put in when Bitcoin was at, and honestly, it's amazing. It's amazing. I'm never selling the Bitcoin. It's used as collateral, and then they make the trades in US Tether, and then I get paid in Tether, and then I can use the Tether to buy more Bitcoin. And then I buy more Bitcoin, and where I buy it gets put right back into the same exact compounding area that uses to make the trades. So then the trades get bigger because and every 2 weeks or every like 10 or 8 days, whenever I see the market make a big shift, there's a big kitty of money there waiting for me. I go grab it. I buy more Bitcoin with it. It's like the funnest day for me every time I do it. And I've been doing it with the bot. So again, you do whatever makes you happy. I did just kind of, I'm shilling it pretty hard, but I'm telling you my life. I'm not even shilling it hard. I'm telling you my life story. I'm just giving you I went to the beach yesterday with my family. I got into a bot 7 months ago, and I've been playing with it on and off. Now I got 100 grand in it. You know, it's just, this is just my life, man. I talk and teach about things that I use every day. I use this thing. It works for me. It's great. Maybe I'll put $1 million in it one day. You know what I mean? And if I had to, you know, that's the dream, right? And to get real residuals there at that point. Then it would make like $1,000 a day almost, after, about $1 million, you know? It would start making some serious money. Again, high risk. Now you have the Bitcoin on an exchange instead of in your hardware wallet. So like, how greedy do you want to be? So there's, you know, and again, you got to find that balance. That's why, you know, I'm not putting all my BTCs to work. Just a couple, you know, even just one really. And you got to ask yourself your risk tolerance. And I'm not a financial advisor, and nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. Okay. I see inverse head and shoulders with the bear flag. Says Crypto Rick. Nice. I mean, there was a time it was there. Now it looks, I don't know. It's, again, you're going to just get up and down. But for the most part, it does look like a slow bleed today, right? That's what I see happening. I could be wrong. Every time we lose the 84.5, we come back, but then we lose it, you know. What about putting a large capital on a staking coin with a stop loss? I don't know what that means. Yeah, I don't know about it, man. You gotta. What about it? Like, are you gonna do that? I can't tell you what to do. All right. It's micro scalping now instead of leverage trading. Use a lot of capital for many small wins instead of small capital with leverage for large wins. Yeah. Exactly. But that's the point. It's like hedge fund, you know. It's, yeah, exactly. I think that's great. Micro scalping with mass amounts of money, 100%, right? And the bot can do it effortlessly without the emotions that you have, right? It's just amazing. Anyway, I believe we have a link to it below, and if you want to check it out, I'll put the link one more time, and then I'm done. I don't want to become, you know, people get pissed. He's a, you know, it is shilling, let's be honest. I'm talking about another product, but it works, right? And I do get a commission if you sign up, of course, because, you know, you're my community. I'm not going to offer my community to anybody. That's valuable, right? So... So there you have it, right? Thanks for everything you do, Sam. God bless. 800 SMA support on the 5, 800 resistance on the 1. I used to use the 800. Funny, you're back in there. It's been a long time since I did use that. But you're going to see Bitcoin. It just seems to be bouncing and ranging, right? End of the day, it looks more symmetrical. Symmetrical triangles break down. There's more likelihood we break down, as far as I'm concerned. But we are above the 200 MA on the 1 hour time frame, and as long as that occurs, I'm okay. When we break down, this might make a shoulder, head, shoulder, dump right to it, lose it, do boom. Okay then, right? And I could see that. I could definitely see it. Do you close the deal on the yacht? You're funny, man. I'm liking IMX today. Immutable X has been a long time since I looked at that. It's attempting to flag out a little bit here. I actually hold some of this coin, regretfully so, after all this time. We actually had a bull run in our hands at one point. We were, retail was fooled into it. I did see overbought areas though. We did start stacking cash from Anytime. Remember I kept saying time to stack. I said to stack cash at certain key areas. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. I said I was stacking cash. So you got to do whatever you want, but that looks interesting to me. I'll give it to you. I'll put an alert here, see if it can kind of bounce. I wouldn't trade it just yet. It's a little high risk, but if it could bounce and go sideways, then there's a chance. Hit that measured move, right? As soon as I see a scheduled call, I start hearing alarm bells. Why do we need to call? As soon as I see schedule, the movie for the inverse, because you know why you would need a call? Because who are you? What do you want to do with the bot? You know what I mean? Oh, I want to put in 10 grand. I want to put in 30 grand. I want to put in 250,000. And I would like, what are your thoughts, dreams, and goals with the bot? They want to know, man. They're not going to work with anybody who's just, if they interview the guy and something's a little weird, of course they want to, work with everybody, but this is a high-end product that's not for everybody, period. High-end people like a personalized call when they get something. You know what I mean? Like when you buy like a Lamborghini, they can come to your house and talk, they can bring the car, all sorts of things can be done. You see what I'm saying? To make you feel right at home. All you used was Hood to trade and had 100K to invest in crypto. How would you invest? If all you used was Robinhood and had 100K, how would you invest? Honestly, I can't tell you what to do with your money, man. Yeah. I personally would be buying BTC when the fear and greed index was between 10 and 33. And then I'd go from there. If it doubled, I'd maybe, speculate here and there. I don't know. All right. There's a clown moving this money with big money. They got to lose it, though. Hey, shout out to Hopium Copium. So, yeah, Immutable X looks interesting to me. PENDLE looked like, was something we were looking at. But again, all coins are, we got to get Bitcoin to get solidified here first. So PENDLE got the little bit of a bounce we were looking for, stayed inside the pattern, which is good. We really want to see it break up and consolidate. When it starts to consolidate and then it comes back down for the right shoulder, that's when I'll be looking to execute. So boom. Yeah, so PENDLE looks like, it's been a lending platform. Lending platforms have held their own. They seem to have bounced quicker because when people speculate on the bottom, they start to lend. And then PENDLE's, you got liquid staking with LDO too. You got a lot of stuff that's going on here. It's okay to lose it all in your first cycle. I mean, most people do. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. Yeah, to me, Bitcoin looks like it's going to break down, right? It just looks like it's going to dump. Like, that was a bear flag. I said it, and it's breaking to the target. The target was 84,268, right? And it kind of had a head and shoulder, right? Someone said we're bullish. I said, I don't know. It looks like a bear flag to me that's going to break down. So it was a trade entry right there. Stop above, right? Bang. But again, look how slow price action is moving today. The order book is barely, it's touch and go, man. But they're bleeding it out, and you can definitely see where this said we were going lower. You could tell where we're going. So with the tactics and the strategies I use, it's pretty simple to tell what's likely going to happen. All right. And there it goes. Look, right to the target. Unbelievable. How much does it cost? Is it different for everyone? I see these are great questions that I don't know. You'd have to ask them. I don't run the company. You know what I mean? And I'm sure I get catered to differently. I'm the lifer, so I don't know how the experience. I'm not going to get treated better. All I'm saying is, I just was like, yeah, let me use it. Let's tweak it. Let's have, I wasn't like, I'm doing a lot of other things. I wasn't like all over it. Super chat. You're funny. I wrote super chat in because I'm thinking you guys have got me crazy. Spirex on Coinbase, SPY, USDT. I mean, this thing's been bullish. It pumped up, it kind of like Immutable X. A couple things are still inside these flags. I mean, that looks pretty interesting to me. And I can see why a lifer might be looking at it. It's super sketchy, though. I wouldn't be surprised if they stop hunted first. I came here, got all the liquidity, and then ripped it up. But if anything looks good, this looks good, right? It's at the point of control. It's got tight moving averages. Yeah, it's what I look for. So shout out to the lifer who pointed this out. Looks interesting. Looks like there could be some gains here with the stop loss below that wick. Possible some movement here for SPA, USDT. Get all the way to like 34921. I don't know if I'd trade it. 2 hour looks interesting. 2 hour looks like you may be able to get some gains out of that puppy. Hey, 62% gains, stop loss below the low there. If the market was really nice, that's a setup I would take 80 to 90% of the time, right? But it depends on what the market's doing. So I might have to hold off on that, but it looks good to me. I like what you're saying. And shout out to the super chat. Thank you for participating today. I appreciate anyone that's here today. You're like an OG. You're an OG. All right, you're amazing. So God bless you. Thank you so much for jumping on in. Let's take a look at the fan funding. We have Alex Me. Do you like the 800 at SMA? It's been resistance in the 5-1. Thank you. You can look at almost anything and find something somewhere. But yeah, thank you. Nerky 530. We looked at it a long time ago. It's funny you said that. Morning champ question. Stop parking. Yeah. Inverted head. And we answered that about parking. And why you ask? I wonder. Why do you ask that question? Inverted head and shoulder on the 1 day. So Spox looks interesting. Let's take a look there at Banter Bubbles, Crypto Bubbles, whatever we want. Crypto Bubbles. AERGO, the only thing up on the day, right? Strax, Ardor, but, basically pretty flat. On the week, we still got some movement. Zano, Toshi, Syrup, GMT, Cubic. And, not all bad. Alchemist Prime. Look at my baby, Alchemist. That thing, Alchemist AI, that thing doing damage, man. Unbelievable. I still can't believe that. Metaplex up 19%. So it's not all bad out there. We slowly maybe just take a little bit of a break, but some altcoins still pumping. Again, I wouldn't be out there. I'd be in and out, though. I'd be in and out. In and out. The last hour, it's Onyx Coin, Jasmy, right? But not a lot to write home about. Last 24 hours, you got Tau, BitTensor. Let's talk about Tau, actually. That's something that I believe is worth DCing into. It's a strong project. We got in at $60 at 80 back in the day. And, had a nice pump. Look at that. Had a nice pump recently. I look at it on the daily time frame. And I see a giant double bottom. Like, to me, this is just anywhere in this is accumulation. anywhere from the wick down to 180, 150 to, 280 area. It's just like, boom, right? But again, I could be wrong, but there's a double bottom there. Tower potential, one of the best projects in all of AI, and one of the best actual teams. And and even if it didn't have the best project and team, people believe that. You see what I mean? It has the best persona of having the best project and team. That's the thing about crypto. Sometimes it doesn't have what's under the hood, but everyone thinks it does. And it doesn't matter if it doesn't have it as long as people think it does. I believe this has it and people think it does. It has both. Okay? But more people think it does than it has. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it is all speculation. When you finally realize you are speculating, I think you'll be more relieved. A lot of people think they're complete geniuses in crypto. I mean, there's some genius there. There's some looking at it, but, anyone in the comments deal with that? I had Sui on Phantom Wallet. Now I don't see it. Searching Sui now available on my... No. Misty looks like it's about to explode to the upside. How would you have Sui in your Phantom if Phantom doesn't have Sui yet? I don't know. I shouldn't talk. I don't know. Sui goes to the Sui wallet, MSTY. I can't find it. Is it a DEX? I'm all set. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Don't make me count is better than Soul. I'm funny. Sam, what's your thoughts on Litecoin? I believe it's very underrated. It's literally the limited supply digital silver. Yeah, but it just doesn't get marketed correctly. Nobody cares about it. You know what I mean? Let's get real. Like, it's one of the first coins I ever bought at $5. You know what I mean? So, like, I got into Litecoin super early. Oh, it's at $75 today. Like, wow, Litecoin, Look, I said it was going to break down out of this bear flag, and I said the move was to 66. It wicked down to 63. Wow, Litecoin's where it was in 2017, man. You know what I mean? That's why, all coins are not Bitcoin. Bitcoin, the mighty Bitcoin continued to go to $100,000 a coin. Like, Bitcoin never stopped. It's unbelievable what Bitcoin did. Just continued to rip to the upside. All right. Rewatching my Crypto Live course from September 2022. Time to get back in the game. I love it, Gideon Gaines. I love you, man. Hey, when the market's down and out, and not up high, that's when you want to at least begin the education, right? There's a lot of leverage in this system. Yeah, there's too much leverage in every system, in my humble opinion. Just too much over and over again, right? People think they're going to get some deal, like, Redstone, still one of the most popular coins searched. I don't know why. Doesn't seem that amazing to me. Ondo Finance at holding 82 is actually amazing. Say at 16, up 11%. That's one of the only coins I really believe in right now. Sol up 11%. And Bitcoin. So I bought Bitcoin. I bought Sol, right? I got some Egan Layer staking there early, bird style. And you can look, one of the most visited coins. Matra, people still visiting that. It's so crazy. CPEN, brand new, $1 million market cap. Babylon, baby, $164 million market cap. Babylon, baby. Baby, Babylon. Huge spike up, came back down, lower volume, hard to really put your finger on it. Yeah, I'd leave it alone right now. Just one of those speculative messes. I joined the 99 to learn the proper way to leverage trade. I received so much more. Mentoring and like-minded boys and girls helping each other. Go to CryptoLifer.com. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Rave Song Records in the house. God bless you and thank you so much for the love. So that would have been a beautiful short to the downside. Now they're pumping it right back up. See if they can reverse this puppy. But today is just lackluster. But there's a short trade there. In 10 minutes, there were some gains to be had. It's a good thing for covered calls where there's too much leverage. Cover your positions. Funny. Orange Litecoin is Minute Maid. You're funny. You can own SWE on Phantom Wallet now. Interesting. God loves you, brother. Thank you. Shout out to Gideon Gaines. White Rock is interesting. Let's take a look at it. I haven't looked at it in a long time, though. I did like White Rock. We had it in this flag. It kind of slumped down. Still holding comparatively from, you know, it's still in a basic uptrend, right? I mean, if you guide it this way, and you can see it breaking off this trend line. You know, Bitcoin bounces would be amazing, but this looks like, and there's a cup and handle there. Yeah, wouldn't be surprised if this gives some gains. White Rock, thanks for putting that back on our radar. I haven't thought about it in a long time. Yeah. Sam, when are you coming back to the gym? I'm getting my soul destroyed by this Stairmaster. I don't do the gym, but I'll be working out starting Monday. My back is back to normal. It took about 10 to 11 days. I still, like yesterday, I was swimming, walking on my hands, you know. I still was active in the afternoon, so I make sure I'm out and about. I make the best of every day. Sam, can you take a look at IOTX? Yeah. Shout out to everybody here. Yeah. Hey, Sam, can you check IOTX? Been holding nicely. Let's take a look at IOTX. USDT. If everyone told everyone what to do all the time, then no one would know what to do all the time. IOTX looks just like every coin. You said it's holding up nicely? I guess. I don't know. I don't think so. I'm all set. Every coin, altcoin mainly that it had any buzz is like, look at this. It was a fake. It was just, oh man. Sorry, but not sorry, man. I don't really want to look at it no more. Let's take a look at ZBCN here. And wow, the Zebek network looks like trash. Look at it, like possible falling wedge, breaking back above the 200 MA on what, the 8 hour, 4 hour, 1 hour. I don't know. Yeah, it broke above the 1 hour, and you got this little flag. I'd stay away from this thing, man. Hey, there's your TA. Breakout to, I don't know, 013609. I don't know, right? Are you all set on ice? You're sleeping on Redstone. Please research if you get it. You're sleeping on Redstone. Research if you get a chance off the live. No, I think it's pretty hot, honestly. I'm not sleeping on it. I actually think it's interesting as heck, right? I think it could be pretty big. There's a reason why I've brought it up numerous times. So I don't know if I'm sleeping on it. Like, the price action doesn't look amazing. I'll tell you that, though. Like, every coin, it's just humbled to the ground. Seemed to be double bottoming at 34. Been a while, lifer. I hope all is well. Any idea where there's price action on Libra Financial? Potential there. God bless. No idea, man. I'm all set, though. Yeah. It would be on Dex screener, right? So, yeah. And people want to see what, Coinbase is doing coin. Wow, inverse head and shoulder there. We're looking for it to make an inverse head and shoulder and break on out. It's got a beautiful double bottom. It's almost like, hey, that would be a perfect place to load up. Coin at 156. I remember it was just $50, so look for it to consolidate and then continue to rip. That's a falling wedge that should be breaking out 68% of the time once it breaks out of this, this key area here, and then boom, we break on out. You must use logos in the shorts at the same time and balance insanity. Longs and short. No, you must. I don't know, man. You do whatever makes you happy, my friend. I don't do what anyone tells me to do for any reason. Yeah. Do you hear about this real estate company buying SOL like Sarah buying Bitcoin on the NASDAQ? Yeah, they're using debt to convert convertible debts. Why not? All right. Please update the trade in BTC. It stayed flat. I mean, it looks like it may just continue lower and just keep bear flagging out. Head down to 84,188, and BOOKMAP's got the liquidity down there. We're crawling right now, though, and as we get to even midday, we'll crawl even more, right? whoever got in the morning is going to eventually back out of the market again too. Like, you know, I'm the most obsessed person, and I can see the market's pretty slow. Mama said there'd be days like this. Mama said there'd be days like this, right? MANEKI finally made a move of 5x. Oh no, 3x from the bottom. MANEKI, baby, MANEKI. My back in MANEKI. It's cool to see MANEKI bouncing, but is it realistic? I don't know. BOOKMAP shows 1,400 Bitcoin buy order for 83.4. Can you double check? $83.4? I don't see that much, but I see a lot of liquidity down there, you know. Sam, could you look at BEAMX on MAXI there? Beam. Getting a little bit of a pump from the bottoms. I own this coin too, long term. Not a, I mean, oh my gosh. It's just like, you look at the whole market. It's like, all coins, man. Can you check GMT? Somebody said. Today would be a great day. I'm sorry to say, I shouldn't tell this. Like, trade, everybody trade, but today's a great day to like take a day off, man. You know what I mean? Even I probably should have taken a day off today, just like, but I'm obsessive compulsive, so I'm here. But you know, if I can tell you anything, but I'm not supposed to take it, you know, oh, trade. But I mean, today's a good day to be with your family. Today's a good day if your kids are home from school. My kids are home, like, you know, it's gonna be a more family oriented day. Yeah, you only have so many throughout the year, so remind yourself of that. Especially if you're a working man and you got a lot of responsibilities. So GMT looks interesting, like it may bounce off the 21 and get a pump there, getting low stochastics. It's not my cup of tea though. Yeah. AXOL little pump from like a rounded bottom. Maybe it's the bottom there and it might pump. It's like a suey meme. I don't know, man. I don't have faith in speculative stuff right now. It's going to take some time, right, for me to get back into my speculative nature. Yeah. He said PEPE is the only coin that is up. PEPE, baby, PEPE. And it's still at the bottom of it where it used to be, right? Like, it's attempting to double bottom off this liquidity zone, but these charts are strange for me. Like, I'm used to big run-ups and then bear markets, ups and downs, run-ups, bear markets. All right. XAUT had a mini pump. Tal got a ripper. There's always going to be opportunity in the market, but if you have to scour it and go through everything, take massive risk every time, it's just you're putting your capital at risk and your mindset to be constantly chasing, you know. And that's what a low volume market will do. It'll make you very similar. Say that you put a dog out there and you see there's like 50, 60 balls. And you can tell him he can get any ball he wants. And he kind of hits all the balls and he keeps running around, boom, 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 and he has fun. And eventually you take all the balls away. There's only 3 or 4. And he's like, he has to like work so hard to go grab one across and grab. It's not as fun. He doesn't have as much opportunity. You know, it's not the best example, but. Or don't throw money in the blender and hope you don't get out. Exactly. Shout out to Stack McChange, you know. You know, you'll know in my group, that's a great thing about being in a trading group too. The whole group will be like, we're pulling back, right? We're not going to overtrade today. We can see that the market's not giving us the opportunity that we're normally used to having. So we're not going to just, you know. And you have to take American holidays serious. Like, Americans run this market. New York, you know, it's TradFi closed. You know, it's a big holiday. It's Good Friday. You're going to get this slow movement in the market. It is what it is. Bitcoin dominance about to fall. Alt season starts at the end of April. We'll take a look at Bitcoin dominance. I don't know. To me, it looks like it's just going to continue to rip. You know, like this is a flag here. Just, it'll fall if it breaks down. But if that flag continues, it's going to flag up. I see Bitcoin dominance continuing to rip. And Bitcoin taking the cake. A supply shock could be coming. And next thing you know, people are going to be diving into Bitcoin like you've never believed. You know? Listen carefully, on a day like today. 100%. Yeah. There's just no reason to go hard today. It'll be frustrating. You know, I would just step away from the market and enjoy my life. That's what I would do. But you do whatever makes you happy. I can't tell you what to do with your money or your life. All right, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm simply just your buddy that shows up every single day. I might be the most consistent person in your life. I don't know. But I love you, I care about you, and I want to see you change your life. Everyone that's ever spent money on any one of my courses or education, God bless you, thank you. You supported me in my ability to help others and to create my classes and courses and, you know, focus all my time and energy on what I love to do. So thank you so much because I appreciate it. God bless everybody. And I love trading and I can make tons of money trading, but teaching is also a pretty cool feeling. When I teach someone something, it's a pretty good vibe. Like when I give away what I already have to someone else, there's a good feeling behind that. So teaching and trading are two different things, and there's a high that comes from both of them. And I've learned that now, and sometimes the high from teaching is way above the high from trading. That's a scary thing. Once you start teaching, you might find that the adrenaline rush from that is even bigger than trading. That's what's kind of crazy about it all. So I change in so many ways as a person due to this channel because I went through a metamorphosis that I did not know even existed. I thought I was just going to become a trading guy. I didn't know the essence of when you messed your lives with others and when you taught so many people throughout the world, the feedback and the love that you would receive, and then that synchronicity that would come and that cycle it's just amazing. I find it absolutely amazing and beautiful. And so I want to thank everyone that helped this channel get where it's at. On our way to 95,000 subscribers, making it so hard to bust through to 100,000. I mean, it's not easy. Like, we were ripping. It looks like we're going to get there by now. And now it's like, you know, the market's a little slower. We're pushing every single day. 94,721 subscribers. I started this channel coming up on 6 years ago now, which is kind of crazy, right? But if you look at the channel lifetime, you know, like I started here with one subscriber in September 9th of 2019. Right here was 5 years of my life to get to about 70,000 subscribers. It took 5 years and every single day of my life for a long period of time. And God, you know, I've got a long journey. For some reason, my journey has to be super hard. It's not supposed to be easy. This line represents some of the hardest work I've ever put in anything in my life, man. So many days I was tired. So many days I didn't feel it. You know, so many days the market dumped in my face. Sometimes I made a bad call. And many days I made great calls. People poured money on me and they were awesome streams and they were huge highs and they were unbelievable, right? But this is my life, man. And my life's been on an uptrend because of each and every one of you, because of all you beautiful people. This has been my life. And I just want to say thank you to look at the 77s. Don't you see how it always comes into play for me? But may God bless you all. That's my dad saying, smiling at me again, right? And then that's my dad making a joke. Yeah. But God bless everybody. We love you. And we thank you. Again, this is your life too. Get yourself on a trajectory to the upside that doesn't stop. Nobody handed me money. I started a YouTube channel. My dad didn't, no one handed me nothing. I didn't get a paycheck from some rich uncle. I didn't inherit $1 million. I grinded and grinded and grinded and grinded and grinded. And you can too. May God bless everybody here that's helping me get to these magical numbers. And thank you so much. It hasn't been easy. It's every single day. I've dedicated my entire life. Shout out to Buster Crypto. Shout out to everybody here on the live. All my stochastic sets to 0 on the 1 minute. That could be a logical bottom right now. Anything could happen, my friends. I'll get back into Bitcoin later on today, give you guys updates, show you what I'm looking at. Right? Bitcoin dominance looks like it's going to continue to rip, though, for sure. And, yeah. And with that being said, I'm going to jump on out of here for the day. Everybody, I love you. I appreciate you. And I thank you. On this Good Friday, the market's pretty slow. It's barely moving. A few altcoins here and there. There's going to be opportunity if you really, really search for it, too. And there's always a DCA. There's always something for further ahead in the future. Everybody, I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for jumping on in. And thank you for all the super chats. Thank you for everyone that participated. It was awesome comments. A really large group of people today. God bless all the awesome, beautiful people. Thank you for the likes. If we get the likes to 1,000, it would be awesome. Really needed everybody to hit the like button. We figured we'd have the whole crew here today. So if you didn't hit the like button, I don't know why, because I figured it was like the entire trading group. Very intimate group of people. But please hit that like button if you did not. I greatly appreciate that. And dear Lord, thank you for the 584 likes that I did get. I don't want to, be upset about what I'm super happy with what I got. I got 584. I'm blessed, Thank you, dear Lord, for everything. And may you bless all those people that hit the like for me tenfold. That's my prayer for them. Amen. Everybody, I love you. Thank you so much for being here. I'll catch you on the flip side. I'll be back next Friday. I'll be back tomorrow morning. God bless you all. See you. I'll catch you on the flip side. Have a good, I don't know what you're doing on Easter Sunday or Saturday, but have a blast with your family and enjoy. God bless.